Check out this absolutely stunning piece. Mayor Dan stopped by to be part of the press conference today and help launch the show. Mayor Dan, thank you for stopping by. I know you got to go. You got a busy schedule today. But what do you think of this Triumph right here?
This was a treat on my way out. I get to see this beautiful bike. If you want to get a better look, come on down this weekend. It's gorgeous.
Thank you, Dan. This is Ted Smith. He's the president of the Antique Motorcycle Club of America Yankee chapter. And Ted is known as the guy who owns the world's finest BMWs. Confirmed, he's got several of the concourse winning BMWs. And, you know, I think I expected something great from Ted, but when I walked in, this exceeded my expectations. This is the true definition of a concourse 69 Bonneville. It sets a high watermark. I personally have never seen a finer one, and I've got at least 10 museum quality Triumphs in our display. Ted, tell us a little bit about this stunning piece.
Well, this was a case of addiction on my part. My very first new motorcycle was a Triumph Bonneville, 69 Bonneville.
Wow.
So when I found this in a basket case, I just had to do it. But it was so bad, it's a total restoration. It's a frame off, all nuts and bolts, full engine rebuild, full transmission rebuild. Everything's been redone.
Obviously a labor of love, but did you happen to track how many hours of labor went into this? Because it looks like you got a lot of time into this.
If I did that, my wife would make me find a new hobby.
It is absolutely. These are. This is what I would call a legacy bike. Everything on it, right down to the odometer, looks to be brand new. There's no fuel in it. Look at the motor. You got to look at this thing up close to really appreciate the amount of time and effort. And there's no stripped out bolts. There's no incorrect hardware. This is all. Where did you get? This is all original Triumph hardware. But it looks brand new. How did you pull that off, Ted?
It's a matter of pickling it to get the rust off, buffing it to get the gouges out, and then having it replated.
Just incredible.
But curiously, some of the details that you miss are stupid things, like who would think these bolts come from the inside? You would think they'd go from the outside in, but they don't. They go from the inside out.
How did you know that?
Looking through research.
So from the factory, and every guy who restored one usually does them backwards, right?
Oh, well, you don't even think about it.
9 out of 10 times they're backwards. And little things like these decals here being correct.
And the most commonly missed one is this one.
Yeah, I can't say that I've ever seen that decal on one, so yeah, I'd say so.
It's getting the size to fit between the stripes.
In this decal, this is the first one that caught my eye right here. Tell us about this one, Ted.
Those are all factory decals. That's exactly the way they left the factory. One on either side.
Wow. The wheels are just impeccable. I'm sure the bottom side, I always check the bottom of the motorcycles. Yep, I'd eat my breakfast off the bottom of that one. That's perfect.
And there's nothing on this bike that hasn't been redone.
I could say you've outdone yourself, but that wouldn't really be true because your other bikes are this nice too. So
thank you.
Ted owns a major portion, or our nicest. What do you have in the museum so far, Ted, on display?
I think I have a 28 R62 BMW. I have a 39 R12 BMW. A 71 R75 5 BMW. A Cushman scooter with sidecar. A Cushman work bike. And I forgot what else.
There's some beautiful pieces. This bike will be our feature bike for this weekend. If you're coming down to the museum, Carl, who's our roaming diplomat, will be here with his wife, Kim, and I'm sure Carl will do his homework when I send him this video and come and prepared to tell you everything he knows about the Bonneville. But just a beautiful piece. Did you do the upholstering on the seat also, Ted? Or
it's a new upholstery, yeah.
It's brand new, huh?
Yeah. I better warn you. The 69 Bonneville seat rail. People make a mistake in grabbing the seat rail to put the bike up on the center stand, and when they do, they rip it off the seat.
Ooh, oh no.
You do it from the frame.
Yep, right down there. This is more for the passenger to keep them flying off the back, right?
That's all. But most often
We've seen that before, haven't we,
Oh,
Chrissy?
yes, we've seen that before.
We don't ride hot rod Harleys without backrests anymore, do we?
Or take a wheelie without giving me advance notice.
Yeah. Actually, you had advance
this
notice.
is a wheelie machine. I mean, this thing.
Oh, yeah.
This will do wheelies without starting.
Absolutely.
I'm serious.
I believe it.
My brother had a later model, a 76, and it was a brand new bike, and he used to wheelie all the way up the road on it.
Yeah.
They're incredibly good handlers.
Beautifully balanced. In my opinion, this is the best year Triumph ever built. The 69 and 70.
I'd have to agree. Stunning piece, Ted. Thank you for sharing this with us. This is the things that take the time when the bolts on the inside of the sprocket are not just steam cleaned or power washed and
No, they're
wiped off.
replated.
These are completely dismantled, completely reconditioned, and replated the appropriate original patina. So, or
If you want anal,
finish.
Notice the decal down here? Nobody ever looks for that one.
Well, I can't say that I've ever seen one. So not only do they not,
But there's a decal right
I
on
see
here.
it, and not only do they not look for it, they don't even know it's supposed to be there. So how did you figure out?
Research.
Did you like go on the Triumph archives or something and see the original factory
everything I could
photos?
find online, every parts manual, every expert I could talk to. And by the way, if somebody does come to look at it this weekend, and they find something I've done incorrectly, I would be very grateful if they told me.
Yeah, if there's anybody out there, we know there's a lot of gurus that watch our channel, a lot of Triumph gurus will see this. If there's anything you see that Ted can improve on, he's shooting, your goal is a 100-point bike, right? And we think Ted has achieved that. I'm not enough of an expert to see anything that's not appropriate on here. So if somebody out there is, Ted would not be insulted. He'd actually be grateful because he's going to be looking to, usually when Ted goes to shows, he gives the trophies back because he's won so many. But at least that's what he did here at the museum because he's not going for the trophies. He's going to, it's just a perfection is the goal,
personal.
obviously. It's a challenge. It's a challenge.
There is one thing on this bike that is unusual for Bonneville. Bonnevilles don't have a steering damper. This has a factory steering damper.
Wow. Did it come with that or is that something?
As far as I know, that came from the factory that way. You could order it, it just didn't come standard.
So what does that do? It keeps you from
Well, it's usually for sidecar adaptation.
oh, wow. I would have thought it was for speed wobble.
Well, if you had the bike set up right, it doesn't wobble at any speed.
Wow. That means your suspension, tire pressure,
Alignment.
all your bearings got to be tight.
Yep.
Chains got to be aligned perfectly, rear wheel. And then it should be a... So if you want to look Ted up, he is the president of the Antique Motorcycle Club of
Yankee
America.
chapter.
Yankee chapter. They're at antiquemotorcycle.org. And there's a Yankee chapter Facebook page and website, correct? So where are you based out of?
We're all over New England.
All over New England. How many chapters does the AMCA have now?
I think it's around 100.
If you want to get involved in vintage motorcycling, or if you already are and you're looking for a group of guys to enjoy the hobby with, I've been to a bunch of their rallies. It's an absolute blast. The demeanor of everybody there is friendly and supportive, and it's just an absolute hoot. We'd always go with our campers and camp out. They're usually 2-day events. I know this year schedule got screwed up because of the COVID thing, but they'll be back full steam next year. And if you want to see the best vintage motorcycles in the world, show up. And they have show and shines. They have rides. They have how many vendors did you have at the last big event, the national?
Actually, I don't know, but it was a very large
Hundreds.
event.
It was
Larger-
hundreds.
Almost, it's the largest in the Northeast.
You basically, it's difficult to walk the whole thing. So to have a mini bike or a bicycle to get around, I had a pit bike because they're usually large facilities at fairgrounds, and bring a bike you can ride because they do a rally ride.
Only for members.
For members, yeah, you got to join, and you can join right at the event, right?
Yes.
There's not like a MC where you have to prospect. You can actually just sign up, right?
Because of our wonderful insurance company, the only people that can come on our rides are members.
And it's how do you become a member?
Well, you can go to amca.org and then go to yankeechapter.org.
Awesome. Well, Ted, thank you once again. I can't say enough about the quality of your bikes. Well, they speak for themselves, but I am personally super grateful that you support the museum by bringing the world's finest motorcycles here. Now I can say the New England Motorcycle Museum has the world's finest 69 Bonneville, and we'll wait for the judges to say that, but I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that. And I know we have the world's finest BMWs here because you have the trophies to prove it. So thank you very much, Ted. Really appreciate your support.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and God bless America.